Foreigner robbed of $700,000 while 14-year-old shot to death by the police. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The St. Catherine South Police are probing an incident in which armed robbers invaded the compound of the Portmore Municipal Corporation and stole approximately $800,000 from two men who went to conduct business. One of the victims is a visitor to the island. He went to the municipal corporation to pay for a permit for an event for his late wife. The man was reportedly robbed of more than $700,000 in cash. The other victim was robbed of $100,000, but none of them was harmed. Following repeated thefts on Duke Street in Falmouth in Trelawney, commencing on Tuesday, January 2nd, a man accused of being a serial thief was caught and prosecuted. Trevano McGregor, 28 years old of Jonestown in Falmouth in the parish, has been charged with shoplifting and theft. And according to Falmouth police, the complainant closed up his business and left after midnight on January 2nd. Routine inspections were performed upon his return, and McGregor was seen on CCTV footage using an item to force open a poker box from which he allegedly stole $15,000. Next day, Wednesday, January 3rd, McGregor was again caught on film stealing 12 liquor cases worth more than $10,000. The day after, the accused was again witnessed breaking into a gaming lounge and prying open three poker boxes, costing an estimated $60,000 in damage. The complainant filed a police report on Sunday, January 7 at 2:30 p.m. and while the complainant was giving his testimony, McGregor handed himself into the police and was identified by the complainant according to authorities. And following a question and answer interview, McGregor was detained and charged. The St. Elizabeth police have charged an individual who is wanted in connection with a murder committed in the parish last month. Davian Brown, 30, of Balaclava area, also known as Boomdan, has been charged with the murder of Lennox Leachman, who was assaulted and shot during a dance on December 8. Brown has also been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, possession of unauthorized ammunition, and using a handgun to commit a felony. He turned himself into authorities last week after being identified as a person of interest in the investigations. According to investigators, Brown and Leachman were at a party in Union Square when the accused got into a dispute with several of the attendees about a stone-throwing incident. Leachman and other patrons confronted Brown, who pulled a gun and opened fire. The victim was shot multiple times and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. A St. James businessman who was arrested in connection with a multi-million-dollar cocaine bust was on Wednesday freed of drug trafficking charges before the St. Anne Parish Court. Carl Reed, 53 years old, was ordered release after his attorney Peter Champagne, Casey and Pete and Richard Lynch challenged the evidence submitted by prosecutors. Mr. Reed was charged and placed on trial after the narcotics police reported that they intercepted a truck he was driving and seized 40 pounds of cocaine in St. Anne on July 2nd of 2020. The cocaine, which had a street value of more than $30 million, was found concealed in packages under the floor cabin of the back of the truck. Afterwards, the drug was processed and taken to Kingston. But during questioning of the main witness by Mr. Champagne, it was discovered that the chain of custody of the drugs in question was severely compromised as there was conflicting information in the labeling and sealing of the cocaine. The parish judge ruled that based on the compromise of the exhibit, there was doubt as to whether she can believe the police witness as to what took place on the day in question. The judge then ordered the release of Mr. Reed. And this is what happened when a man have a little change in Jamaica. Their case gets thrown out quite easily. A member of the Jamaica Fire Brigade has been taken into custody in connection with the murder of his mother-in-law in Claremont in St. Anne. The decomposing body of 63-year-old Maxine Parkinson of Archer Hill District in Claremont was found in bushes on Wednesday, a day after she was reported missing. Commanding Officer for St. Anne Superintendent Dwight Powell said the firefighter was taken into custody Tuesday night after the missing person report was filed with the police. Miss Parkinson was last seen alive on Monday, and her body was found in an area known as Nine Palm after the son-in-law was questioned by detectives. And it's alleged that a machete with blood stains was found inside the vehicle owned by the suspect. Bloodstains were also found inside the vehicle. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom is probing yesterday morning's incident along Hope Road in St. Andrew, in which two men, including the son of a prominent businessman, were shot by armed robbers. The shooting occurred near the entrance of Jamaica House sometime after 3 o'clock. It is said that the men were changing a flat tire on their motor vehicle when men on a motorcycle drove up, pulled firearms, and began robbing them. The armed thugs then opened fire on the victims, hitting two of them. A female overseas student who was in the company of the victims managed to escape injury. Police officers who were on sentry duty at Jamaica House observed what was happening and challenged the gunmen. and this led to an exchange of gunfire. However, the men managed to escape. And Indicom is now involved to make sure that the story about the shooting is correct and that these men were not shot by any stray bullets from the police officers. There was a heavy police and military presence in the community of 100 Lane off Red Hills Road in St. Andrew following the shooting death of a 14-year-old yesterday afternoon, allegedly by security forces. The deceased has been identified as Rashim Wilson. Wilson was shot and killed at approximately 1:30 p.m. Police report that a firearm was recovered from the crime scene. However, residents are disputing the shooting as they alleged that the teenager was murdered by law enforcers, and investigators are now ongoing. Onto sports, Falmouth United head coach Dean Weatherly has expressed disappointment and regret after the team was fined $30,000 and points awarded to Reno after their Jamaica Football Federation championship game set for Elliston Wakeland Center on Sunday was called off. Falmouth United were found to be in breach of Article 34I after the field was not prepared for the game to be played. Falmouth United, which is owned by Rohan Marley, son of late reggae icon Bob Marley, have played in all three seasons of the competition, making it to the semi-finals in the 2021-22 season and finished 7th last season. A release from the JFF on Monday said that the sanctions for the field not being ready to host the game meant that the game has been awarded to Reno by a scoreline of 3-0. Meanwhile, the country could see a return of first-class cricket for the first time in 4 years when the fixtures are released. The competition will be expanded to 8 teams with the inclusion of the combined campuses and colleges and the West Indies Emerging Academy. And based on sources, Jamaica could host the first 3 rounds of matches and could end up hosting 5 of the 7 league format games. The Jamaica Scorpions last played a match in Jamaica in February of 2020 at the Trelawney Multiple-Purpose Stadium against Guyana before the COVID-19 pandemic. And since then, there has been no games in Jamaica. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this radio station. If you ever miss the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican, Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's the news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.